Should Xbox Game Pass come to PlayStation? That's the conversation we're going to have today. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Xbox EA. I'm Matt. That's Court. Hi, Court.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great. It's happy Friday to you, sir.
Yeah, happy Friday to you.
All right. So there's been some news about the Sony and the Xbox and the Call of Duty, right? It seems like a big thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's honestly at this point, I'm almost over it. But you know, Jeff Grubb wrote a great article that it got me thinking. You know, and Phil Spencer's tweet yesterday that we'll talk about as well. It had me thinking. Xbox goal isn't to sell consoles anymore. It really isn't. Their goal is to sell Game Pass.
Content.
But sell Game Pass.
Yep.
Like, I looked at a stat yesterday, this morning. 70% of all Call of Duty users play their game on PlayStation.
That's way more than I thought. Way more.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Phil Spencer sent out a tweet yesterday that got the whole Twitter world afuddle. And it goes a little something like this. And Matt will have it up on the screen here. Had a good call this week with the leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. Now, people can take that whatever way they want. I took it as I truly believe. I originally thought no way Call of Duty is going to be on PlayStation after their what they've done with Bethesda.
Yep.
It sounds to me like Call of Duty will be on PlayStation regardless of contract, but I joked to someone yesterday, Phil Spencer could get himself out of any trouble with the way he words things. Because, wow, his wife could never get mad at him. Because I don't know how she could.
It's
because he can mean anything he wants. He put desire.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah, and that word desire, coupled with Jeff Grubb's article, which Matt will read a little excerpt from, had me thinking he wants Game Pass on PlayStation.
Coming from Jeff Grubb's article over at GamesBeat, goes like this. PlayStation leadership is weighing all of its options today after the news that Microsoft is now the home of Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. Those options include Sony responding with major acquisitions of its own and ignoring Microsoft's moves while going about business as usual. But the company also has a third option where it lowers its walls and welcomes a form of Xbox Game Pass onto PlayStation 5 right now. The idea of PlayStation allowing Xbox Game Pass onto its console might seem impossible, but why? EA has its EA Play subscription service on PlayStation, and you can subscribe to Netflix on your Apple iPhone right next to your Apple TV Plus. These companies are competing, but they aren't actually in a fight. They don't always win if the other loses. They win if they make more money tomorrow than they did yesterday. So, and it's a great point that he makes with, and it's the analogy I often think about, which is I can go on the Apple Play Store and I can download Disney Plus and I can download Netflix and I could download Spotify, all these competitive streaming services on my Apple device. Why have the block and the barrier of you cannot put Game Pass streaming content service on our platform? How dare you?
I don't disagree. And PlayStation, we already know about with the whole Apple versus Epic thing and things that have come out that PlayStation wants 30 grand for this. And they'd want to cut. And they'd say every time someone downloads the subscription service on ours and purchases through that store, we want to cut.
Sure. Sony should get
their subscription. Exactly. I think it would be amazing. I totally think it would be amazing. Because I don't see Microsoft caring about console sales anymore. This acquisition to me just speaks louder than ever that, you know, they want it on TVs. They want their app everywhere. And also, I think with Phil Spencer saying what he said and having Call of Duty on all consoles, it takes away that, this is a monopoly. They're taking away something from us, because they're not. If he truly is saying what some people are interpreting, that Call of Duty is going to be on PlayStation consoles forever and not just Warzone, is the way I originally interpreted it.
Yeah.
Then that's great. It's great for gamers. Like I'm so tired of the console wars. I'm so tired of people getting mad at each other over this kind of stuff. I am happy for the Activision Blizzard employees that were purchased by Microsoft that are Even today, Ravensoft,
Yeah,
they've announced that they've started a union. Maybe, hopefully things get better for these employees that work for Activision Blizzard. But to get back to PlayStation having Game Pass, I don't see why they don't want that anymore. If
I know.
PlayStation's new strategy is to have their games on PC, and that seems to be their new strategy because the developers wanted it. Cory Barlog was quoted in saying like they pushed for this. They wanted their games to be played by everyone. Phil Spencer's always says, and now PlayStation developers are saying what Phil Spencer says. Everybody should be playing games.
Yeah,
So
and it's a weird old, almost old fashioned idea currently of Sony sitting there being like blocked off ecosystem. It's only us. But even to Jeff Grubb's point, the argument of, well, if that is Sony's mentality, which I don't believe it totally is, because you allow things like EA Play and those other services on your platform. If you truly believe that, like, no, we're not in the business of sharing and we don't want to see Xbox logo on our PlayStation, I'm like, then why are you okay with the EA one? And EA has EA Play over on Xbox. Isn't that a little bit odd? Isn't it odd that like I can get EA Play bundled in with my Game Pass subscription, but you're charging me over on PlayStation? Like, I think it's just lost revenue at the end of the day. And I think if Sony has to only get 10%, 30% revenue from Xbox by saying we would like Call of Duty on our platform, please. And Xbox, but we need a cut to put it on the platform. And Xbox is like, sure, we'll offer 10%.
but
PlayStation kind of has to say yes.
PlayStation's got Spartacus coming. So in my eyes, you would have to allow Spartacus or whatever they're going to call it, because that's just a code name, to be on Xbox. No, like I would love
Don't
to
have
play.
to. Don't
Well,
have
why
to.
wouldn't you? If we're talking about this, would be a perfect world. I know
Sure,
you
sure.
don't have to
But content service app, yeah,
on the Xbox.
yeah. Why Netflix
Imagine
versus
you getting
Disney?
achievements and trophies at the same time. Same time.
And you could cross-platform play if you're multiplayer games too. Like it just allow
Wouldn't
it.
make a difference.
It wouldn't make a difference, and you could still have the incentives on your exclusive platform, like Xbox does right now. You're going to get a Call of Duty on your Xbox, and you're going to get it through Game Pass, and you're not going to pay. That's going to happen. And
Well,
what's
we should stop. We should stop saying we both do it. We should stop saying you're not going to pay. You do pay a yearly fee for Game Pass.
but the days of turning
Once you
around
play
and
two games, it's free
dropping $90 on Call of Duty for the single player experience is going to be gone in a matter of years
on Xbox.
on Xbox. What it means for PlayStation is an interesting conversation where Xbox, Microsoft could turn around and say, we will indefinitely allow PlayStation, Call of Duty on PlayStation. Go ahead, but it's going to cost you $90 full retail price for your games.
Yeah, I would see it as a no-brainer unless you're so far into the ecosystem that you would get an Xbox. But there are also a large percentage of gamers that still want the physical copies of games and say
Correct.
that they don't want to be
And
renting
they don't have
games
great
and so on and so.
internet either, and they can't
Yep.
download giant games.
Correct. Yeah, like I'm already at the point in my I don't care whether I own like I play it. I'll play it again. If it's gone, it's gone. I'm not gonna. I'll get over it real quick. But Phil Spencer also said something very interesting where he looks at Sony as a partner. Nintendo is its own thing.
Isn't that funny though? Like he's so smart because
I
he's
know he
playing
is.
he's playing very smart in the sandbox of like I want
should be.
open. I know he should be, and it's very very smart decisions he makes, and his tweets and messaging is very calculated. Of like I'm the guy who wants to play with everybody. If Sony turns around in 2 years and says we do not like the deal, we do not want this, it could backfire on PlayStation because they look like the bad guys by saying you will not let us play, our players cannot play Call of Duty. And Phil can say, I desire to have Call of Duty everywhere. I want you to have it on PlayStation. Unfortunately, Sony doesn't want to do that.
Well, yeah, and he also mentioned that the people we should be, I wouldn't use the word scared, but the people he's worried about are the Apples, Amazons, and Googles of the world. And even Netflix. Netflix is getting into gaming.
Correct. Yep.
Those are the ones where imagine if Amazon bought Activision Blizzard, you would have to get Luna. You wouldn't be able to play. It wouldn't happen. I even think if Sony would have bought Activision Blizzard, which they can't, they financially cannot do that. Couldn't do it. It wasn't going to happen. They wouldn't have allowed that game on any other platform. They would have kept it for themselves, like 100%. Do not be delusional if unless Sony would change the way they do things right now,
Hmm.
they are so hesitant on letting everybody have cake. They don't. It's just not their thing, and I get it. Like Nintendo's the same way. It is what it is. But if we could finally get to a world where it's like our Netflixes and all that, doesn't matter whether you're Apple or Android, you just get all the services. That would be amazing. Imagine I could have a PlayStation app on my Xbox. That would be unbelievable. Where I could just be like, hey, I feel like playing Spider-Man today. And I play it through my Xbox. Or I have my PlayStation. I'm like, I feel like playing God of War. Gears of War. And I'm, boom. I just playing it.
Yeah. And I think
Jesus,
that
those are similar. God of War, Gears of War.
a little bit. I think it's getting closer and closer to that inevitability, right? Of there's going to be a big seismic shift in the next 10 years of what this all looks like. And you and I have been kind of saying this together for the last few days. I've been kind of saying, like, I was tweeting yesterday because people are constantly talking about this. And I just chimed in for a second. I'm just like, it's content. It's not a console war. It's who is going to have the best content on their platform. And like you said, it's in that metaverse, in that ecosystem. I want to engage in the content here, and Xbox or Sony or Nintendo, they want you on in their universe and engaging in their content for as long as possible. Are you live in Game Pass for a very long time? Be it in movies through Game Pass or in games, and doesn't matter what kind of game. It's just that, are you in there? So
I think things will change though once, and we know it's coming when that Xbox app is on Apple TV. Is on the Google Android television.
That's the big one. Is that if you can get a Fire Stick, and you can do it.
I think PlayStation would have absolutely zero choice at that point to not allow it on their platform. It would almost be not smart in their way. Like they're the only ones that don't let it. I think there needs to be a change in the gaming industry, and we have it in every other media industry where music is on every platform, and all this is on this, and I get it, but gaming industry has been this way since the dawn of time. There's always been exclusives only on Nintendo, only on Atari. Before this all started, Sega and Nintendo would go back and forth on their exclusives. That's just the way it works in the gaming industry. But it could change with this acquisition and the fact that they have Call of Duty now. It's a huge chunk of that pie. But as much as I don't play Call of Duty that much anymore, a ton of people do.
And the next generation, the next kid does, and it just keeps going.
Sony's still got more revenue in general for the gaming part than Xbox. But then they talked about it today. There was you could listen in on Twitter. Jason Schreier and a bunch of people were speaking about Xbox has still got like $64 billion to spend. They could go out and buy Ubisoft. It makes sense.
Capcom, Sega, they could just buy
and as long as they say those games can still be on PlayStation, there's no monopoly. People can't get mad. And when you really look at it, PlayStation still has more. Mm-hmm. Call of Duty is a big chunk. I said it before. 70% of all players that play Call of Duty are playing it on PlayStation.
Yep. And it's not that it's gone tomorrow. And what do you think, though, about the conversation around everyone guessing, speculating, but Warzone being the one that is left for free or included on PlayStation, as Phil Spencer desires it to be available there, Call of Duty, but single player potentially down the road, Xbox exclusive. What do you think?
Well, that I have, based on his tweet, I am going to go back and forth on this one. His tweet is very ambiguous, and I can't really read into it. All I read from it is that he wants Game Pass on PlayStation, and I think it should be. I think Warzone 100%, regardless of what decisions are made, will be on all consoles. It makes perfect sense. I think Warzone, they'll start putting in skins that are only on Xbox, and they will put in skins that are only on PlayStation. I think that PlayStation Warzone players are going to have, Kratos, and they're going to be able to, they're going to
and we'll have a Master Chief, or you'll be able to get a battle rifle.
Well, that
and put
Master Chief will only be on Xbox. That's the type of thing they could do with Call of Duty, where you're playing Warzone, and if Phil Spencer really is saying they want to play nice in the sandbox, and they see Sony as a partner, and they are using them as a partner for their Azure cloud network, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe you're going to start to see in Warzone almost like a Fortnite, where there's stuff being thrown into it, right?
But that's not a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing, but it's also not a brand new idea when it comes to the additional DLC or added on content being console exclusive, or even like what we've done in the last 10 years of store exclusives. Best Buy has an exclusive Call of Duty steel case, whatever bundle that gives you this rifle and this color pack, and you go to Target and it's going to have its own, and Walmart has its own exclusive. I think it's very much in the same vein now where it's just digitized. And it's going into, instead of Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop having the exclusive Call of Duty bundle, and you're picking sides that way in terms of retailer, you're now picking sides on consoles or, the services, the subscription content passes of like Xbox is going to give you a Master Chief skin for Call of Duty. But if you get it on through PlayStation Spartacus, you're going to get a whatever, Kratos 1. That's going to look like that for Call of Duty. And you're going to sit there and go, which way do I go? And that's, either way, they both make money.
That doesn't, either way, Xbox makes money if it's their game. And that way also gets around this whole monopoly thing that I think we all don't like. We all don't want it just on one thing. I want to be able to play it on any console. I would love to get to a world where you could just play it on any console. It's either on the Xbox streaming service, but you can... If I bought it on Xbox, I could play it on PlayStation. That's the world I want to get to, where if I buy it on one, I could play it on the other, and I don't have to buy it twice. So if we get to the 2 streaming services type thing, I think that is an inevitability. I'm going to go out and say I think it's an inevitability that Xbox Game Pass will be on PlayStation. That you will turn on your PlayStation in the next 2 years, and you will be able to click on the Xbox app when all the dust settles.
Yeah.
That is Phil Spencer's dream, and I think that is a dream that everybody wants.
And I think he'll get there faster with other companies, like you said, like going through an more open source, more friendly Android streaming box, an NVIDIA Shield or a Fire Stick, getting the app on those services, even an Apple TV, I think is, to me, right now, is currently more likely to happen. And then eventually Sony finally says, fine. And they do it.
Well, I don't even know if it's fine. I think it's financial. They don't want to lose money on this deal. If 70% of their marketplace is buying Call of Duty on their console, they want their cut. Right?
Yep.
It's as simple as that. And I get it.
Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think? What do you think about? Do you think Game Pass should be on PlayStation? Do you think it's going to happen?